My name is Kate Stallings with Kate Creative Media LLC, located in Canton, and I'm here today with Bill from Value Merchant Services. How are you, Bill?
I'm doing very well, thank you. How are you doing?
Very good. And Bill has a very interesting topic that I've been looking more into about merchant services, and I kind of wanted to pick his brain as to how he's helping clients in the local area with gateway payments and payment systems that are always needed, whether it be online, whether it be at your retail office, wherever it is. It's very, very, very important to have and know what those services are. So I'm going to let him kind of chat about what those services are in more detail.
Okay, very good. Well, basically, the core business that we offer in merchant services has to do with electronic payment processing. So any type of payment that is non-cash, could be in person, by phone, on a mobile device, on a website, as you mentioned, through a gateway. Now, contactless payments are a big issue as well. So basically, that's our core service that we offer. In addition, there are several other things that we are also able to offer. We can build custom apps for businesses for ordering and purchases, which also gives the businesses the opportunity to communicate with customers and send them offers and incentives as well. We also have a review management system to help businesses manage their online reputation and their reviews. And we also have a few other services. For instance, we have the ability to offer payroll services, social media marketing, and discounted gas and electricity as well.
That's awesome. And what kind of industries are you usually working with? Whether it be trades, retail, salons, restaurants, anyone in particular?
Well, the answer is all of the above. It's basically the answer is any business at all that accepts non-cash payments. Okay, so it's retail, it's restaurants, it's it's companies that do business online. There is an interesting statistic. Between online and offline, our online business is about 20% compared to 80% of brick and mortar businesses.
Wow. And with a lot of payment gateways and retail and salons, and I see especially during COVID-19, how do you support these businesses when you can't even go into their store? And a lot of people are saying we'll buy their gift cards. And when you're talking to people and saying hey, I really want to put in this new system, do you find that they are interested in gift cards, or do they find that that's something where they're thinking maybe it's too complicated, or it gets kind of a bad rap to incorporate that into a business, or kind of how that process works and explaining that to the client?
Yeah, well, the gift and loyalty card industry is the services are very important to businesses. They're underutilized. Of our clientele, only between 5 and 10% of our clients are taking advantage of the gift and loyalty program. Wow. But it's something that should be utilized more often, especially as you mentioned in these times, where with gift cards you're bringing in new customers that might not have come to your establishment, and with loyalty cards you're encouraging repeat business as well. So it's something that maybe as an industry we should be doing more to encourage businesses to take advantage of that, because it is a very, very important part of the overall business operations.
Yeah, and do you guys also do the gift card, actual gift card that I would get? Do you actually do it and print
yes.
it? Yeah. And do you find most people do you find that people have a design that they're looking for, or in particular, or do you find most people just want their logo on it and sent out?
Yeah, basically it's typically it would be sort of like a logo, whatever they're looking for to match the branding of their company.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's really cool, because I know a lot of people don't really look at they look at acquiring clients, but then how to keep them, how to pass on that either word of mouth marketing and stuff like that, especially during COVID. And
I'll offer a little tip.
Yeah.
that we learned when using the gift card program. Mm-hmm. It will be a good idea to encourage gift cards for a smaller amount, say like $10 or $15, even if the average ticket or the average price of a transaction is like 25 or 30, mm-hmm. because it brings the person in because they want that discount, but then it sort of forces them to make a larger purchase. So it actually, instead of somebody coming in with a $15 gift card and buying $15 worth of merchandise. It brings them in, they get the discount, and then it makes them, look around and say, well, this is what I really want, and makes them, purchase more. So it increases the revenue to the business while also bringing in a new customer.
Yeah, that's a really good point. I know that a lot of businesses have been trying to do that with their online strategy as well, and saying, all right, how do we get people to notice our company and then get them in and then kind of spending portion and making that just right. So yeah, that's a really good point as well. And I know things are crazy in the retail industry and restaurants and trades and everything. Do you find that anything's really changed in the industry sense, or more people cautious to either what they're spending or how they're maybe servicing their clients a little bit easier, or any other thing that might affect their business that you guys are helping them with?
Yeah, well, mainly we're seeing a huge increase in demand for non-cash payment technologies. All right, so companies that used to only accept cash, now they're saying, gee, we have to look for other ways of taking payments. So that's on the increase. But there's been a huge boost in the demand for contactless payment technologies, and also options for accepting payments by phone, online, and also via mobile apps. So these are some of the things that are the more recent changes in the industry that we're seeing.
Wow, that's crazy. And I know you were chatting about the online reputation service earlier. Can you tell me a little bit more about that? Because it's so important with your website to make sure that everything else surrounding your website has a great reputation. How are you guys kind of offering that service to start helping businesses make sure that their online reputation is outside of their website is up to the standard that it should be?
Yeah, it's a great service because 90%, probably more, but 90% of consumers read online reviews before they make a purchasing decision, and 41% rate reviews as the most critical factor in making the decision. So obviously it's very, very important. I know myself, when I purchase something, I immediately go to the review section, and there's going to be a few bad ones, but I read them all just to kind of get an idea. So I really utilize reviews a lot. And Harvard Business Review did a study, and it showed that for every increase of 1 star in your rating, your increase in revenue is between 5 and 9%. So it shows that just getting those stars up just bit by bit can actually increase your revenue. Unfortunately, reviews tend to be more negative than positive. And by the time a business gets around to resolving a review that's negative, it's already been out there, sometimes as long as 30 days. So this system automates that. So the business gets notified right away. And if there is a negative review, they can actually resolve that with the consumer, if there's a way to do that with the consumer directly, and before it gets out there onto the review platforms.
Yeah, because
and
sometimes there's an issue. There's sometimes an issue with competitors I've seen saying, hey, they don't know what they're doing, and then one person responding saying, you're not even you're part of the ABC company. You're not even a client of ours. Or someone saying, I think you have the wrong company, which is the worst. And I feel bad for those companies.
Yeah, right.
It's not even a long review. It'll be just didn't show up to my house. And then the company's, if it's like ABC construction and maybe the company was AB construction or something, and they write on whatever it is, they say that company didn't show up to and you're like, we didn't show up. You never contacted us. That happens a lot.
Right.
I see that, and people are like, what do I do? So that's why that's something that maybe you guys can help them with at least. And if anything, I'd give a tip to say, if anything, whether it be Google My Business or anything, and if it actually is a legit comment that says, hey, you didn't live up to our standards, for anyone that needs to know, just make sure you respond in a just respond to them and just say, hey, sorry, sorry, what can we do to help? Because one, Google's looking at that and wants to see that you're responding back. The more you use Google in any way, in any shape or form, the more they love you and the more it helps with your kind of searchability. But just responding back to them. But, that's why, it's great to have this conversation, because you can't respond back to everything. There's so many platforms out there.
Right. Well, there are 600 different review platforms. Now, not all of them apply to every business, but there are a lot of platforms. So by automating the process, instead of trying to do it manually, like, okay, on Tuesday, Sally is going to review these platforms, and on Thursday, Harry's going to review these platforms, and let us know what they find. This is all done automated. It's all automatically done, and that saves a lot of time. It also saves a lot of manpower. So there's a cost savings aspect to it right away. The other thing that it automates is something that we don't think about too often, and that is to generate reviews. Okay, because most people are, if they're unhappy, they're quick to put a review out there, but happy customers might not be as inclined. So there's a way to actually generate reviews, sending out surveys, and we have technologies to actually use email to elicit reviews, and the technology helps to avoid the spam filters so that it gets to the people, which is important. And you had mentioned earlier SEO. The way that this system is set up is that it's not done on a third-party site. It's all done on your site, so that the information shows up on your site, which increases traffic, and it improves your SEO as well. So it's got several different benefits. But
That's
it's
cool. And then eventually you can start to maybe bridge the gift card kind of payments as well as the hey, you write a review about us, and thank you so much for doing that, and then you can maybe tie that up with a gift card. Thank you so much. And tie that back and say, hey, you wrote a review, or hey, maybe we didn't earn your business the first time. Here's a $15, $20, whatever, gift card. Here's a piece on us the next time. You never know.
Right.
You can start mixing and matching them now too, and have them all kind of channeled in. That's awesome, and it saves time and money in the end. Because I know with me and there are companies out there that are a third-party company. They'll all your directories. You can look into all of them, and it'll say, all right, update all your information across the board, and it's a certain amount per month and everything. But do you really want to keep up with all of that? And do you want to make sure? I mean, how do you know that company's doing all of it? And I think that was an outside company. I think they were in Canada that I was looking at. But I never talked to a representative. But it's stuff where you start getting on Yelp, and whether it be TripAdvisor, if it's applied to your business and all this stuff. And how do you keep up with it? I can't tell you how many people I talk to that I search their business and I'm like, oh, I found some information on you, and then they're like, oh my God, what'd you find? And I said, well, you got a bad review, on Yelp, a year or two ago, and people are like, I did? What? When was that? Oh, I remember that guy. That guy, blah 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 blah. And I said, well, happens all the time. So it's just mitigating that, but also looking for kind of a better solution, because I cannot tell you how many people are looking at. All it takes is one bad review, and especially if it's a really long one that says everything under the sun, you want to make sure that that's mitigated. So that's really awesome. That's really cool. And if anyone wants to learn more about that service, or really any other services that you do offer, what would be the best way for them to reach you?
Well, I've got three ways. My direct line is 774-701-0900, and my email is B as in Bill, Reidy, REIDY, at valuedmerchants.com. And then I have a special URL that is my name that goes right to the page on my company's website that shows all my information. It's williamreidy.com.
Awesome. Well, I'm sure that there's going to be some people who probably want to set up a consultation with you, and during that time, maybe evaluate kind of what they're paying and how you guys can help, or if they're a new business starting out, kind of what their options are. Like I always say, it's always great to get a second opinion, and it's always great to learn about the industry, especially that ours are kind of so similar, and they really do kind of go off each other. So I really appreciate you jumping on today and kind of chatting about the services. And I look forward to connecting with you more. So thank you for joining today.
Thank you very much, Kate. I appreciate the time.
Have a great one.
Okay, you too.